reasons why FF14 sucks. Oh, okay.
Is that a real thing?
I think
I'll
so.
look that up right now. Okay, I typed in 5 reasons and here's what came up. 5 reasons to punch a dolphin. 5 reasons jailbreak iPhone. 5 reasons for exploration. 5 reasons to go to college. 5 reasons to avoid almond flour.
Move your microphone up a little bit.
Away?
Yeah, you're. God damn it.
5 reasons to pick puck. I don't know what that means.
What's puck? What's a puck?
5 reasons
Five
to date a
reasons.
girl with an eating disorder. What the fuck?
What?
Are there
Oh,
reasons
it's-
why you would do
It's
that?
a South African or South American pub game. That's dumb. Okay. 5 reasons why FF14 sucks dick.
That wasn't a link. It was a picture. I didn't look at it though. Let me see if I can find it again.
Well,
Anyway,
Well, there's nothing on here that says it sucks.
hello everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of Duelist Discussion, a Hearthstone podcast where we talk about Hearthstone, video games, and we do all that in a very casual way. We're just a couple of guys that love video games, particularly Hearthstone, and we come together every week. Some of us more than others, because some of us are, well, you know, I'm trying to be on Santa's good list, so I'm going to continue to say nice things. Love these guys, and those guys that are joining me today are Richard Burrell.
how you guys doing today?
You sound real nice with your new mic and everything. Forgot to mention that last week.
They respond with, "Today sucks."
More like Duelist disgusting.
Right?
And Ryan Drover.
You already heard my voice, so hello again.
Well, they don't know who you are because you're hardly ever on.
I'm sorry I
God.
abandoned all of you.
What were you doing last week anyway?
I don't remember.
You went to South Africa, right?
No, that's.
Oh yeah, I was in South Africa.
Well, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you
I saw a lot of giraffes.
giraffes. Is it cold in South Africa right now?
No.
Yes.
No?
Just kidding, no.
Well, I don't know any better. So, lots of stuff been happening over the few weeks. Not particularly in Hearthstone. Oops. Almost dropped my keyboard. Yeah, it's wireless. I like to lay in bed and yeah. But you know,
Weird.
yeah. Well, it's really cool. You're jealous. I can play Hearthstone.
With a keyboard?
Yeah, it's like a little wireless keyboard with a with
So
a
you're
little
playing
touchpad.
Hearthstone with the keyboard? That's interesting.
Oh,
no.
that's cool.
Way to know your Hearthstone, noob.
I mean, it's not wired. I can lay in bed with a little touchscreen and everything. It's like an iPad except on the
Yep.
computer. You guys are mean. You're getting coal for Christmas.
I love you, Devin.
Probably.
Well, you know, the new consoles launched and everything, and that's all old news at this point. But how are the consoles doing right now? Like Xbox One is eating up discs, grinding them like a like that little slap chop thing you can
Sure.
buy, you know, on TV. As seen on TV, you
Slap
Yeah,
chop.
it's doing that to the
I'm
game.
scared.
Yeah, I've seen a
Exactly.
video where the guy puts his. He's like, "All right, guys, day one, just open it. Gonna put it in the disc. Hopefully it works." He puts it in there, and it goes. Ah. It makes that noise like exactly, and he just cuts the video.
Wow.
But
What's the PS3 doing to disc?
I don't know. I didn't.
PS4, you mean?
Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah,
I
that.
don't know what it's doing with discs, but it's the only problem people had with it was with the HDMI port, I think.
Yeah, the
And
HDMI
then,
ports were breaking.
And then they solved that. Nobody's really complaining about that anymore, and it's sold 2.2 million copies so far, I think.
Globally, right? It just launched globally because it launched in America only at first.
It's the fastest selling console in the UK.
Well,
I
UK's
know in
mostly Sony, right?
I think I don't know how reliable this is because my friend just said it in a status the other day, but he said currently in the U.S. there's been 1.6 million PS4 sold to 1.2 Xbox One.
You know, I think it's important to clarify what with these what's past tense? These solds, these sellers, these consoles that have sold? Yeah, there we go.
What?
Yeah,
What's
sold.
English? With the consoles that have been sold, I think it's important to clarify for all of them that it's not how successful they are. It's like because they've sold every console they've made. I would wager it's them keeping up with supply. So they would sell a lot more, if they had the better supply for it, right? So I think it's really good that they've been able to even meet demands like that. And oh, that's a funny picture. So breaking news: the Destiny logo, which has like this three little pronged thing with like this little oval looking shape in the middle. If you like Google Destiny, you can see it. But apparently that looks a lot like the Spartan's crotch armor, which is,
Yeah.
that probably means Half-Life 3 is confirmed, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's 3 prongs.
Because there's three
Right.
prongs.
Right.
So.
There you go.
God.
Makes sense. Thanks to Ryan Jover, our breaking newscaster, for that information. But yeah, that's cool. The console's doing all right.
Back to you, Deb.
Well, let's go over to Rashard and ask him how the new generation games are doing. Exactly.
I don't have one.
I'll hear an expert video.
I hear Rise is actually getting a lot of really bad reviews. I think on IGN.
Yeah, Rise sucks apparently.
No, it wasn't.
All right. Let's play a little game real quick.
Okay.
You're going to come up with one word from everything you've heard about from a new video game, from a new next-gen game. Come up with one word that best describes it. And I'm going to name a game. You're going to come up with that word, okay?
Okay.
Rise.
Booty sweat.
Okay, Ryan?
That's 2 words.
That is 2 words.
Wait, is it my turn?
Yeah. What's your one word?
Thumbstick.
Thumbstick? I would
Yeah.
say repetitive.
I don't
Redundant.
know why I said thumbstick.
There you go. I don't know.
I was on the spot. I got scared.
Yeah. How about knack?
I actually
Linear.
haven't looked into that one, so I can't give a word on that one.
Mediocre, maybe?
I played it. Yeah, mediocre would be the word. I played it for like 20 minutes at Best Buy. It was just the demo version, so I didn't really get any time with the game, really. But it would start you at different points in the game.
Oh, I
I
see.
played it. Little Knack, where he's running through little air conditioning ducts and sneaking past people, and then
Sounds like a Ratchet and Clank spin-off. You just
yeah,
play Clank.
it is kind of like that. But I don't know. It seems very linear, very mediocre. Like there's not a lot of depth in certain things. Like the enemies are all the same. I'm pretty sure it's all just one orc design, but like 5 of them in one area.
Man, it's so disappointing too because the knack looked a lot to me and gave me the vibe that it was a lot like. Let me set the scene here. Like bringing home a new PlayStation 1 and popping in Spyro the Dragon.
Or Crash Bandicoot or
My
something.
God, man, it was so
yeah.
magical.
Right, because I mean, Mark Cerny did it, and he worked on Jack and Daxter and Crash Bandicoot,
Oh, man,
Spyro,
such good-
all the classic, platforming games that everybody loves. And then he did this game, and he was, the main driving force behind it, and everyone doesn't like it.
That's such a shame. I really want to go back and play those. I want a brand new Ratchet and Clank that harkens back to its roots. Same with Jack and Daxter. That was much like I think Jak 3, where it almost kind of got like a little open worldy GTA vibe.
Yeah, and
awesome.
I loved 3 because it kept the same mechanics and everything that we loved from the first 2.
Yeah, and you got some sweet weapons, a lot like in Ratchet.
Yeah, the story got better.
And Dark
The
Jack
freaking-
was just.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was awesome.
Dark Jack
Oh
was.
yeah, I remember beating the first game, and then when the second game came out, I remember getting that because the first game was the first game I ever had on PS2 was Jack and Daxter because I got it for my birthday one year. I think I was 11 or 10 or whatever, and I got Jack and Daxter, and I played that crap for hours. Like I remember the fishing part where you're like,
Oh yeah.
you go down to the river and you see that fisherman, and you have to use the net to catch all those fish. And if you catch the bad fish, then it like messes up your score or something. I remember that.
I don't fondly remember the having to grab all those eggs though. I've never liked collectibles.
The precursor eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was. I liked how you didn't really have to do that in the second two. Like they were just kind of relics.
Yeah, they were. And 3, they were like hidden artifacts. It went with the story because like the time advanced and they became like
Right.
artifacts, and they unlocked cheats as you found them.
That was one of the best parts about that series is the story.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever play Jack X Racing?
No.
No, I only played the trilogy, and I didn't mess with like the Precursor Legacy or any of that other crap.
Surprisingly good spin-off. Good racing game.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard the Daxter games were good too, but I didn't play those.
I mean, Daxter
yeah,
and Clank, like.
Daxter on the PSP or whatever.
You're distant.
I got that on Daxter on PSP. I remember when I first had my PSP.
You're too quiet now. You're distant.
What'd you do?
Oh no!
What'd you do, Ryan?
What about now?
You're still the same. Just like a loud clicking noise.
God.
Man. Well, continue.
Okay. So we didn't get to talk to you last week about your Thanksgiving and all that. How was that? What'd you do?
I worked.
Now you're too close.
I worked. How about now?
It works.
Okay. Yeah, I was at. Okay. No. I worked on Thanksgiving,
That sucks.
and it sucked.
Yeah. Was it busy at Ritz, Chris?
Oh yeah, we did. I think we did 620 people all day.
Sheesh.
Who eats steak on Thanksgiving?
I don't know. And I was so surprised with how many reservations we had
God.
because
Yeah.
and it lasted all day. It was nonstop. So I was from 12 o'clock to I went in at 12 and I closed. So 12 to 11, I was just running around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Or a turkey.
I read an article.
Zing.
What's up, Richard?
I read an article the other day that was talking about that. America seems to be shifting towards people going out to eat on Thanksgiving versus cooking because I guess people aren't passing on their cooking skills, or people just don't want to know how to cook like they used to. Because everybody, the typical thing is, oh, you can't cook better than my grandma, and it's like it's always the grandma, not the mom.
Macaroni Wars.
So it's like, well, I guess it's starting to be more common where people are just like, well, my wife can't cook, so we're just gonna go out.
There you go.
I mean, the husband. I'm a chef, so I can cook, but it's like
Samesies. I love it.
I mean, my family always goes out to eat, and I'm kind of done with it. Waiting 2 hours and not being able to eat my Thanksgiving food until like 3 p.m. when we get there at like 11, and sitting around in a very crowded kind of Christmas shop Cracker Barrel. It's just I'm over it.
Yeah, the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday was pretty rad because I woke up with my lovely girlfriend, and I had Thanksgiving dinner that morning for breakfast.
Sweet.
Thanksgiving breakfast.
Yeah, I took home a bunch of food from Ruth's Chris that we had left over, like a bunch of turkey and sweet potato casserole and then stuffed mushrooms and some mac and cheese and some other goodies.
Rad.
It sounds delicious.
Stuffing was good.
Sounds good. Sounds like you had a good. At least you caught up on your Thanksgiving. You had one at least. That's good.
Yeah, but usually I spend it with my family, and that was kind of a drag. But
Oh, I'm sorry. Paul Walker didn't get to see his. Well, he did, didn't he?
yeah, he did. He died a couple days ago.
God.
Let's take a moment
It's
of silence.
December. God.
Let's take a moment of silence for Paul Walker, okay?
No.
No.
How about Nelson Mandela?
Here's my moment of silence for Paul Walker.
Was it? I'm sorry. Was that that was a fart sound, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. I'm gonna have to save that for future episodes.
Right.
Oh God.
Let's get into some Hearthstone news.
We're gonna die.
Let's get into some Paul Walker news.
No.
No, Hearthstone. There's no news. A few patches were applied recently, very quietly. People were like, "What's going on?" in the forums, and they pretty much said, Zerai pretty much said, did a little role play. Hey, you see those gnomes over there working on something? It's gonna be huge. Stay tuned. So nothing big there. Open beta's coming. That's no surprise. That's all that really alludes to. Okay, more people are getting into the beta. It's not even. I ain't even mad.
Ain't even mad.
But moving I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you looking forward to getting all those easy wins from the new players in the open beta?
Yeah, because everyone that's playing Hearthstone is getting really good at it. And the game, I mean, okay, let's kind of curb some enthusiasm here, as you guys know now. We all do. The game is accessible. That's not the problem. Anyone can play it. That's true. But the game is certainly not easy. And that's not immediately apparent. The game is difficult, especially if you're playing good people, which is very often right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I lose most of the time.
It's difficult. It's a difficult game. People are getting really good at it.
It took me like $50 and like 30 losses to finally come up with a good deck where I win a majority of the time now. But it's still like sometimes I'll just go against a person and they completely just thrash me and I lose in like turn 5.
Yeah.
So.
I think the thing here, I think the key to this game is, and this might be a good answer to the pay to win argument, is not like throwing money into cards, because you'll get those eventually, and that doesn't necessarily mean you know how to build a deck, which is like really important. And as you said, Richard, your friends would like just throw cards that look good together, and they are good, but they would throw all sorts of cards like that into a deck and expect, well, of course it's going to work good, right? Well, no, you need cards that synergize and combo well. You need cards that can handle most of every kind of a situation and all that, yada yada. But I think the key is to just spend a lot of time with the game, because you got to memorize plays that you can make. You got to memorize cards that you can do. You got to memorize how much a card costs, when a priest can play Mind Control, when a mage can play Inflame Strike, which is turn 8 and turn 7, by the way. And you got to be able to...
Ragnaros can come onto the board.
Right,
God.
Right, how to deal with it, that kind of thing. The niches that classes fill, the niches that classes can't fill, so you can and cannot expect. If you're playing against a warlock, there's going to be more things in the future, especially with the bigger card pool. But if you're playing against a warlock right now, you can expect a few certain things. They are definitely going to be playing an aggro deck, or they're going to be playing a Murloc deck, or they're going to be playing a spell power deck. You're never going to see them play. You shouldn't see them play an Enrage deck or a draw deck, maybe, because they already have a hero card that draws, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all these classes have various niches that they can and cannot fill, so it kind of helps you predict them a little bit better and build a deck against that, or at least kind of cater to that. Anyway, to sum it all up, I think you just need to spend a lot of time with the game and memorize it. I think memorizing cards is so important,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Agreed.
What was the original thing you asked me? Am I looking forward to something? I lost my train of thought.
What?
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of this.
You were saying something. Are you looking forward to?
I was saying, are you looking forward to beating on the new players that come in?
Oh, right.
Getting on those easy wins.
Yeah, I digress, but maybe not. I'm not going to be playing them, because unless they're in arena, which I usually get stomped in anyway, because I can't seem to build a good draft deck for the life of me, but I do very well in constructed. I'm in my ranking. The ranking system in Hearthstone's been bugged for the last few weeks for me, so I only just started ranking up again for some reason. So that's why I'm only at 2-star diamond at the moment, I think.
Wow.
Because it just wouldn't go up. So I'm not going to be playing against new players until they get to that point, upon which, once the patch hits, all that's going to be reset again. We're all going to be at the same level, at least a month at a time, because, it's going to be reset every month. I've been playing a lot of this aggro warlock deck. I mean, I built a very mean spell warlock deck kind of that boasts a bunch of very crafty and creative control and heavy minions. Where I usually win the game with like 13 health because I don't necessarily rock the early game, but I dominate the mid and late game. And that was doing okay. But I adopted this deck made by this guy, this player called Fjord or whatever, and he won some tournaments with this deck. And it just features a bunch of aggro concepts, like loads and loads of small minions, and because of the warlock's draw mechanic, you're constantly drawing cards and you constantly have minions in your hand, and they're all constantly cheap. And then coupled with cards like the Imp Master, I just have loads of minions on the board all the time.
Yeah.
So it makes me immune to flame strikes, that kind of thing, and I'm just constantly keeping control. And they never have minions on the board, and all they're doing is constantly reacting. So it's just a really powerful deck, and I win like 90% of my games. But that's really good. I adopted that deck a little bit, and that's fun. Maybe it's not as fun as the spell deck because it's just too easy, I gotta say. But what about you, Richard? I know you haven't been playing much, Ryan, but what have you been doing, Richard?
Currently, I have kind of I don't really know what kind of deck it is, to be honest. It's just I have 3 main gimmicks in the deck that I rely on, and usually one of those gets me the win. I have a couple knife jugglers in there, and I play a bunch of low-cost minions, and particularly ones with that summon another minion. So like the Defias Bandit or the Murloc. What is that one? Tide Hunter or something? I forgot. It summons a 1/1 Murloc. And there's another one, the Boar Lady. The 3-mana one that summons a 1/1 Boar or something. I use that card and the Imp Master in combination with a Knife Juggler. And that usually gets me a lot of board control because of the Knife Juggler's passive skill. Or I forget, what's the correct term for that?
Passive skill? Battle Cry?
Battle Cry? I thought
it's all the time, right? It's just a skill, just a thing.
Yeah. Well, because when you summon a minion, he throws a one damage knife at a random enemy, including the hero. So I'll end up taking out a lot of low, like 1 health minions, or getting other minions low enough to just trade with them and kill them in 1 turn. And if that doesn't work, if say they take care of my knife jugglers, I have a questing adventurer, and I'll combine him with a bunch of low cost cards and eventually make him become, like, there's been matches where he's become like a 15/15 just because I had taunts. I'll drop a mirror image, then a shield bearer, then a Mogushan warden. At the same time, I'm summoning all these other minions, and he's just getting giant, and they can't get to him. And then I'll use Conceal, and they can't target him with a removal spell. And I'm just hitting them for like 10, 11, like every turn,
That reach, though.
Yeah, it's a gamble, because it's like if they shut down all 3 of those, then I pretty much lose, because I don't have anything else major in my deck. Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you the third one yet. The third one is the Flesh-Eating Ghoul, and anytime a minion dies, he gains 1 attack. So I'll try to combine him with Imp Master and keep sacrificing those imps while protecting him.
That Flesh-Eating Ghoul, though, I don't know. If he's not, I don't think he's a very good turn 3 play. He only has 3 health, and you need minions, to die for him to really be worth it.
The way I use him is I'll usually try to wait until there's stuff that I can sacrifice, or I'll wait till a turn where I know they're about to kill. Like, say I have Mirror Image on the board, I know they're gonna kill them next turn. That's like 2 kills. Like, I'll try to put them down when I can sacrifice something to immediately give them a buff, or when I can put something down to protect them.
Yeah,
more or
especially
less.
Behind a taunt, because he's gonna bait control, and that's always a good thing because he's so small and cheap.
And I had an enemy use a board wipe, once. I think it was a flame strike. No, not a flame strike. It was blizzard. And I had a bunch of minions with 1 and 2 health, and he survived because he has 3, I believe. And he comes out and he's like a 13-1. Then I put down like another taunt and just hit him in the face.
In the face.
Yeah, it was bad, but I don't know. It seems to be working. I win a majority of my matches with it right now.
Except against me.
You know what, Devin? You and that Ragnaros. Yeah, that Warlock deck you have is pretty strong.
And Ragnaros wins games.
He does. I can't wait till I can craft one.
I mean, I throw him in any deck. Like, he's in my forward aggro, like, little small, cheap, puny, weenie minion deck, and he wins games because they're like, oh, okay, all he has is, like, small stuff. Boom, Ragnaros, fight fire with fire, or whatever he says.
And then you get sheep.
I mean, yeah, but, like, okay. I mean, I never play him unless, like, they have, like, 2 cards. Like, I wait till the very last second. I'll wait 2 turns after I know I win till the very last second, so I know he's useful. But what have you been playing, Ryan, since you haven't been playing Hearthstone?
I've been playing Fable: The Lost Chapters.
Yes. Nostalgia.
Which is such a good game, but I'm about to be done with it, and I saw the other day they're remaking it.
No way.
Yeah, they're doing for the 360, they're doing a complete like rehash of the game, like graphics,
wow,
menus. They're redoing everything.
For a linear game, I really love that game.
It was pretty linear, but I liked the concept of it. And there, in the Lost Chapters, there's a lot more to do for how linear it is.
Mm-hmm. I like the good and evil aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I love the whole Temple of Scorn thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Once you get even enough, you just bring people there.
Have you ever gotten the bow of Scorm or Scorm's bow?
That's
you sacrifice somebody at midnight, and you get max evil and the bow. It's like the best bow in the game.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I focused on magic this time. Like
okay.
I'm a will user this time.
The magic in that game is so good.
Yeah, it's much better than the magic in 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Like much more expansive, and like I focused on the fireball spell, which is kind of an AoE spell.
Yeah.
And it kind of screwed me over in a lot of quests, like escort quests or any other thing.
Yeah,
like when I have to. Yeah, and I throw the strongest fireball and it just kills everyone, and I'm like,
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You're on my team.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked when you maxed out all the magic, you get these blue runes all over your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's pretty rad.
Well, that's cool. That's a good game. I almost finished with it, which is a shame because they're about to do a remake apparently. So I guess you have to play it once again.
Yeah, I'm gonna link you guys this.
Okay.
You must see.
Let's do this little thing called Card Conquistador.
Oh God.
You better get used to that. All right. So you both get one guess, and if I feel particularly generous, I might give you a hint. So you have to tell me the card, and I guess the closest answer might get it. So in this case, that might win it. So it's a 3-mana card, and its text says, "Destroy a minion with an attack of 5 or more."
I think I know what that is.
I do.
You go, Richard.
I believe it's Shadow Word Death.
What about you, Ryan?
Shadow Word Death.
Ooh, I'm sorry. It's Shadow Word Death. Man, I don't know how to make this any harder than it is. I'm just gonna have to get really obscure with it because I fear that when I get obscure with it, it's gonna be like way too bad. Like,
it's like a 1/1/1, no card text. Oh, okay, that's like 17 options.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, all right, let's do another one. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. Restore 2 health to all friendly characters.
Man, I know that.
That's Holy Nova.
God, you guys are good at this. All right. All right. All right. One more. This one's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. Battle Cry deals 3 damage.
Ooh.
Deals 3 damage.
Um,
Oh, I know what it is.
I don't.
You better not be looking this up.
No, I'm not. I swear. It's the SI7 agent.
Oh yeah.
He deals
It's
3
The
damage.
rogue card.
Oh wait, no, that's the combo. It's not a battle cry.
Right.
No, because the combo. Oh
And
yeah.
I think it's only
no.
2 damage.
Yeah, it is. Damn.
Well, that's not accurate. You want to try again? His flavor text is, "He can never take a bath." Ew.
I don't know this one. I think you got me down.
I mean, that flavor text makes no sense. It is the Fire Elemental, the 6/6/5, the Shaman card. It's a
I've never
really
even
good card.
seen that card.
It's really good. Well, Card Conquistador is brought to you by Audible, where you can get a free audiobook. Download at audibletrial.com/discussion with your choice of over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, etc. Be it The Hobbit, the Warcraft novels, Harry Potter, or even Tom Clancy. You can get your free audiobook today at audibletrial.com/discussion. And sign up for that. You can even, just between you and I, you can even sign up and then cancel and still get a free book. But you didn't hear that from me. Because I didn't do that, and I didn't get this amazing book by one of my favorite authors of all time, Garth Nix, called A Confusion of Princes, which is, oh man, this guy, he just creates these amazing concepts for creation in the universe. And it doesn't outright say, like, this is, he doesn't outright say, nor does he ever write like it. But he basically, be it the keys to the kingdom or a confusion of princes, he's basically saying, here's my spin on creation and God and the universe. And it's really just like, be it like, I don't know, like, he has these different concepts for, the 7 deadly sins occupied by like 7 very powerful people inside this house, which might serve as the template for the universe, or in the confusion for princes. I know this sounds really vague, so you're gonna have to read it, because I know what I'm talking about, and this is great. Trust me, you gotta trust me. And I'm your host, Devin Casey, and you love me and you trust me. So try this out, and it's really good. Confusion of Princes, you won't regret it. It makes a great audiobook. I work at Factory Work. That's company, Factory Work? No, I do factory work. And so we listen to music all day, and it gets really dull and boring. So audiobooks are a great option for me. So maybe just about every week I'm going to have a good recommendation. And this really passed the time. That's Confusion of Princes. Try it, Ryan. I know you can't read Richard, so you definitely want to try this. So let's move on to Card Court. This week's favorite card is...
The Knife Juggler.
No, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
Is it? I don't really know. Is it?
Oh, dude.
It's my favorable card.
Well,
Screw that.
What's the favorable card, Ryan? Go.
Avenging Wrath. Dun, 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 dun.
you picked it. You talk about it.
Dang right. That card destroys me and everyone else.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't destroy you.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it played a lot, and it's just, it's crazy. For 6 mana, I think it's...
Yeah. It deals 8 damage, randomly split among enemy characters.
Yeah.
It's certainly violent looking. It's like a machine gun goes off.
I love the artwork
exactly.
on that card, too.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with the artwork, though. It doesn't look anything like that, nor does it behave like that in Warcraft.
Yeah. I thought it would be a buff card, because that's what it is in WoW.
Right. It should give your hero portrait, wings, and you can, I don't know, hit someone for 7 mana or something. But no.
Exactly.
Deals 8 damage, randomly split among enemy characters. It's like a really good bomb thrower. What's that guy called? Bomb juggler?
Mad Bomber.
Mad Bomber, yeah.
Mad Bomber? Yeah.
I see people stand by that card and play it often, especially the really good players. But I don't know, it's just too gambly for me.
Yeah,
But
well,
Avenging Wrath.
he'll just finish off my 3/3 taunt or something.
Yeah,
All
I've
3
seen it
bombs.
totally react bad for them.
Yep.
But unfavorable card this week is the Booty Bay Bodyguard, and I think no one really should favor this card if they can help it, because it's a 5/5 taunt, and it's got pretty decent attack, and it's almost certainly going to trade well. But if you're going to go for a taunt, you want it to have good health. I don't think you should, if you're going to be playing a taunt at all, you want it to do what it's going to do. Like for a card to have taunt, it's got to cut corners elsewhere. Be it it's going to be really expensive, it's going to have low attack, or it's going to have low health. And for a taunt, you want it, if you're playing a taunt, you want it to taunt. You want it to do its job. You're not gonna hire a police officer to come work at your McDonald's because he's better at arresting criminals than making a McDouble with mac sauce. So
maybe he's not.
I mean, maybe he is, but the Booty Bay bodyguard certainly can't make a McDouble with mac sauce. I mean,
maybe.
Right.
He's just got such low
I
health.
don't want his dirty fingers all over my hamburger.
Time is money, friend, and I don't think this card's worth your time.
Time is money, friend.
He's only ever going to make one really good trade, which I guess might be the point, but for 5 mana cost, I mean, you're better off just having another card, particularly a better taunt, if you're going to rock taunts at all. I don't particularly rock many taunts. Richard loves taunts because he is a taunter.
What?
Ryan, what's your sage advice? Do you have any? You don't have any, do you?
What's your sage advice, Devin?
Oh, I have sage advice. Why do we call it sage advice? Why don't we call it your big tip anymore?
I like.
How about when I give sage advice, it's my big tip, and when you give sage advice, it's your bigger tip.
Why do we have to call it anything? Like, not what sage advice is, but why sage advice.
It's Devin's bigger tip.
Well,
because your tip's bigger.
No,
Clearly.
at the very least for aggro decks, you want to establish early board control, and you want to maintain it. Now, I don't know what I'm talking about, so you should never listen to me and take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I got like 2 people that ever watch my stream, because I'm a pro player, but you want to establish early board control and maintain it because it often determines like the game from that point on. It really sets the tempo. And if you leave a minion on the board, like their side, it's better for you to make trades in your favor, or at least to trade down. And that is to say, like if you have 2 cards on your field, 2 minions on your field and 1 minion on their field, even if you have to destroy one of those minions, or in some cases you have to trade 2 for 1, which is hardly ever recommended, it's better to kind of like leave them laying cards down, like leave them with an empty field so they have to play something more, because if you don't make a trade, especially in your favor, they're going to make a trade that is least opportune for you, that is least good for you, and so you want to kind of dictate that. And I don't know, I've never had any good outcomes with leaving minions on the field just to hit their face, because the game doesn't have a time limit. The game's going to go on forever until someone dies, and so you want to kind of work that to your advantage, kind of play control even if you can with your minions and so on. So set the tempo. And I see that word that you typed in there. I'm not going to say that word. Let's move on to some discussion, the meat of this podcast that we've kind of been preparing for, and that my friends is Paul Walker's death.
No. What's that?
So I gotta ask you guys, how do you feel about Paul Walker and microtransactions?
One I care about more than the other.
All right. Why do you like Paul Walker so much?
Anyway.
All right. So what are microtransactions, guys? Those are the small purchases in games.
Within games. Yes.
Oh,
What?
I'm sorry.
Within games, yeah.
Within games. Yeah.
Okay.
When you buy stuff with your real money in the game.
So microtransactions are the small purchases in games that award players more resources, unique costumes, new goods, hell yeah, new goods, and additional characters. They're those dollar and cents that players drop, on the really small stuff like a hat, or a blue hat,
Or a mount.
or a red hat, or t-shirts,
Or a green hat.
or a weapon. Those small purchases add up to massive lump sum of money for the game developer, and it's really thanks to publishers and the like that this gets abused in games like Angry Birds, which drives this into the ground and earns a lot of distrust towards microtransaction-driven games.
Yeah. iPod games are like.
I wonder if you
leader.
can buy Paul Walker's haircut.
I wonder if you can buy Paul Walker's facial
WoW.
hair. Because he grows a mean scruff that I am very jelly of. Because you see, I'm blonde and you can't see my hair unless I let it grow out for like a week.
True that.
Let's see. So, like, microtransactions didn't start in video games. They originally, they derived as an alternative to advertising on the web, and they were made popular by, all sorts of applications, especially the stock market in some ways. And I won't go into detail about that. But like in gaming, Xbox most notably pushed microtransactions into the mainstream, I would argue. With purchasable virtual gear for like your avatar, like we said, a hat, or a red hat, or a green hat, or a black Power Ranger suit.
Yeah.
Very sweet. But it's like there's many facets to this. Being like there's cosmetic things you can buy with microtransactions, and how there's like carrot and stick concepts they bait you with, like you want this red hat, so you want to move to the next level faster than the other guy, so give us a quarter. People argue, it's pay to win. Well, if I can buy that weapon for a quarter, I can be better than everyone else. This game's stupid. It's more like Duelists disgusting. In Rift, it's credits. In the Old Republic, it's cartel coins. In War Thunder, it's golden eagles. These currencies that you can actually pay money for to pay for other things. And they kind of put a barrier between your wallet and microtransactions in some cases, which is more or less devious, elusive, sneaky, Decepticon? Team Decepticon. And it's like trading, currency for fake fun bucks. Fun bucks. I love that word.
Fun bucks.
It's so potentially inappropriate.
I'd like to purchase 4 phone bucks.
How do you look a man in the eye and ask for fun bucks?
How do you look a man in the eye and say fun bucks?
I guess, should I tell you guys about my Black Friday strip club story?
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's digress. What's up?
So, I went to Black Friday. I worked as well all day. Got off at 11. And I call my girlfriend, and she's like, yeah, so my brother and my dad and my uncle are going to the Cheetah in Atlanta, which is a strip club. And she was like, yeah, they want you to go with them. And I was like, I don't know. She's like, please. I was like, okay, I'll go to the strip club. So my girlfriend begged me to go to a strip club with her dad and her brother.
You lucky man.
And her uncle. So I went to the Cheetah, paid $12 to get in, sat there, watched some ladies dance naked while sitting next to...
Paul Walker?
I wish. He was there in spirit. Yeah, while sitting next to my girlfriend's extremely intimidating father and brother and uncle. And then... her uncle bought me a lap dance.
Oh.
Yeah, so getting a lap dance from this naked woman.
So
and,
your Facebook status is now complicated, right?
Why?
Complicated relationship status?
Oh, no. I told her about all this. She was like, oh, that's cool. Good. That's cool.
Good.
Meanwhile, the shotgun's being loaded.
Right. I think she's trying to kill me in my sleep.
So were there microtransactions at the club? Like, could you like pay for?
Well, that's what brought this whole thing up is when you were talking about
Fun bucks.
whatever fun bucks. Yeah, they have cheetah bucks at the Cheetah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so they're like you can go to the front register and get cheetah bucks, or you can pay in cash. And I was like, why would I ever get cheetah bucks if I have cash?
I would be really into Cheetor bucks. Like the Transformer.
Cheetor.
That would be awesome.
Oh yes.
But That's pretty funny. Funbucks, that's going to be a show starter now. Back to the point. Microtransactions kind of have like a dark side and a light side, I guess you could say. Except the dark side isn't as fun. Like Team Fortress 2, they handle microtransactions very well, one would argue. You could unlock just about everything in the game without paying a single dime. It's all cosmetic stuff for the most part. And even if you don't pay for any of these microtransactions or any of this stuff, the game still progresses, it still gets better, and it's still supported. Like on the plus side, microtransactions have greatly innovated gaming in many ways and allowed for like new systems to come into place, and it funds innovative concepts in quirky new ways, particularly for devs that don't have much money. But like the two main questions to keep in mind when a game is asking you to spend real money for items is like, can they only be earned by paying for them, or like can you earn them without paying for anything, like just by hard work alone, or maybe not even hard work. Like, are they equally attainable regardless of your income? And are they better than what you already have? You know what I mean? Like, can you buy a weapon that's better than what you could actually earn? Which is controversial in many games. Even good in-game stores, like those can go bad over time in the community's faith and the game's integrity. Oh, what are you getting at?
That was like a major problem I had with Rise. Apparently, you can buy the upgrades that you would get just from beating the game anyway. Like, I don't know if you've played the Arkham series, but imagine if you could buy all of the upgrades, for like all the gadgets and stuff you get throughout the game and the armor upgrades and all that with real money on level 1. That's an option in Rise. And that's
silly.
Yeah. It is. And it's like, isn't that what they put in like New Game Plus for? After you beat the game, you can play through it again with all your upgrades. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why would they? I don't understand. That's like purely catering to people with no patience. Because it's like, this is purely single player. Right. You're not like getting an advantage over any other players at all. Maybe you'll get achievements faster or something. I don't know, but nobody really cares about Xbox gamer score.
That's why they made the game, right? So you could play it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, let me just buy all the upgrades before I even move my character. And it's like that I feel like stuff like that is stepping in the wrong direction, and it's hurting the monetization of video games. Like how it's approached, because like I don't know. I already don't like the way like DLCs are now. Like it feels like it should be part of the game from the beginning on a lot of games.
Yeah, I think it could be necessary in some cases to help small games stay afloat and alive, and it's worked very well for some games. But I also think it's also equally handled pretty poorly, and it challenges the game's integrity, like you said. With Rise, it defeats the purpose of even playing through and finishing the game, which in Rise's case might be for the better because it's so repetitive and dull. But from what we've read and heard, because I'm not going to buy that game, but like a game's integrity can totally be compromised with, like SimCity. They have microtransactions in that game, right? You pay for that stuff? Some stuff you pay for, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Like buildings or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never played a Sims game.
Well, in any case, with all of them, they have microtransactions where you can pay for stuff like that, which is fine or whatever, but like the second you start cheating, you ruin the point of all of that. It's like, as cheesy as it sounds, it's the journey. It's not the end experience, it's the journey. And you can't challenge that. But so I asked a bunch of people, how they felt about microtransactions. I got a few opinions. So let's take a second and let's listen to what they have to say. I want to know what you guys feel. I want to know how you guys feel. I got a few questions. Let's kind of see how people feel about microtransactions in general, in and out of gaming. So let's just take a second and listen real quick. How do you feel about microtransactions?
I'm fine with it as long as it's cosmetic and nothing that can overpower you. I have no problem with it at all. I would like to say that I do really like microtransactions as long as it's not, pay to win. So as long as, everybody's getting kind of a fair deal.
Honestly, it just kind of depends. Like, I feel like they're stupid if they're not fair.
It really depends on the game. For something like World of Warcraft, it doesn't work at all.
Well, I don't mind them, but let's be honest. They let me buy more guns, and that's always a good thing.
What's the maximum amount that you would be willing to pay?
About $5.
At most, like, $2 or $3. So generally, I wouldn't spend more than like $10 max.
Also, that kind of just depends on what it is too. But as for like stuff like iPod apps, like that's stupid. I'm not paying $15 for a Final Fantasy app that I can play on my phone.
I think the highest that I would pay for anything would probably be about $5 or $10.
Maybe a few bucks. I don't know. I'd much prefer to trade some fur or some firewood or something. Maybe come paint your deck. I don't know. Not much.
What kind of things do you find acceptable for microtransactions?
I actually really like the idea of cosmetic things, like weapon skins and things like that. So, I mean, mostly cosmetic stuff.
I think I find the most pleasurable to use are like things that are customizable, really customizable.
It has to be something that doesn't take away the enjoyment of people who aren't, paying for it.
Anything that gives me an edge in combat.
How about cards in a digital card game?
That's a whole different thing.
I think as long as you include like a system for trading, then I think you're good to go. Because it is just like going out and, buying booster packs and stuff like that.
I don't play those much, so no.
Provided that it's not something where you can say, oh, I want to buy this specific card for, however much.
Like poker?
So how do you feel about microtransactions? Richard?
I feel like as long as they're purely cosmetic and don't offer any kind of gameplay advantage over other players, if it's a multiplayer game, then they're perfectly fine.
What do you think, Ryan?
I agree. I mean, I think if it's a single-player game, I think it's absolutely ridiculous and redundant.
Yeah.
Like,
but in multiplayer, you think it's okay?
Yeah, like if you're,
like knife skins and stuff?
Right. I mean, not things that you can buy to, alter your performance particularly, but maybe like, I don't know, new weapon skins or new costumes or stuff like that.
Well, like,
that spices it up.
For example, I would be okay with if they gave an option in Hearthstone to upgrade a card, like a common card or any card, to a golden version for like $1 or something.
Yeah,
that is a good idea.
Yeah,
for players just want that.
In that kind of thing, you would essentially just be paying for dust because people would buy golden cards and then dust them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be an interesting way of going about paying for dust, I suppose.
Yeah, and it would alleviate the issue of how hard it is to acquire dust right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can already buy cards. I mean, all you're doing essentially then is buying cards. The only difference is that you get to choose the kind of card you want. Mm-hmm. If they were going to do that, though, I imagine they'd raise the dust cost of everything significantly.
Probably, yeah.
But what's the maximum amount you'd be willing to pay for a microtransaction? Like $2, $5, 50 cents, $1 million for a ship in Star Citizen? What?
Me personally, it depends on how much time. What?
What? Jiraxis?
Dollars. Jiraxis.
Eridar of the Burning Legion? Welcome to the show.
Eridar for life. Oh, God.
Team Eridar.
But yeah, for me it depends on. There's a lot of deciding factors. If I play the game a lot, like World of Warcraft, like my average play session is probably 3 or 4 hours, and I have like days of gameplay on a character or whatever, like I'll drop maybe $25 or something for an amount that I'm going to use thousands of times.
Right.
That just looks really cool. But like in like say like an iPod app or something that I rarely play, like when I'm on the toilet or something, I'll probably spend like maybe $2 at the most for anything.
You gotta be careful though.
Yeah.
You could use that $2 for more TP.
True.
I mean, I could buy you a lot of TP.
I'd rather have
You can just use your hand, bro.
I'd rather have
Imagine if
lives in Candy Crush than toilet paper.
I think we just discovered a new toilet tycoon game where more toilet paper is a microtransaction. Nice. We're geniuses. Green light, Steam green light.
I know, right?
Yeah, Toilet Tycoon. Let's do it.
It's just perfect. It's alliteration. I think the fans want this. I mean, seriously.
I'm pretty sure they do.
You got flush mechanics. You got all sorts of things you got to manage, like water usage.
You can buy extra magazines to skim through.
Yeah, exactly.
God,
Air fresheners, golden
Like, you're gonna be
toilet handles.
Then you get a portable gaming device. That's like top tier gear right there.
And like microtransactions could consist of like real rare animal furs for the seat cover.
God.
Yes.
We're gonna
Golden toilet seats, blue water. Oh man, neon lights.
Different flushing sounds and speeds.
Oh, different flushing sounds. Imagine if you
different
flushed the
amount
toilet.
of different amount of water used per flush. God.
We need to coin this idea before one of our viewers steals
But
it.
not on turn one. Sorry.
Nerd.
Oh God. Okay.
Anyway, among those things, what kind of things do you find acceptable for microtransactions? Like skins?
Mounts.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Spaceships.
Yeah. Pretty much my same answer for the first one.
Jews.
Cosmetic stuff.
You know,
A new sword.
Either things that allow you to unlock stuff faster, or
Naked ladies.
3 more wishes. How about cards in a digital card game? Would you pay for that?
Heck yeah.
yeah,
said
I already
heck
done
yeah.
it.
You already did.
Yeah,
You bought
already-
40
I've
packs.
actually I bought one pack just so I could get
Gelbin.
yeah,
He's not
Gelbin
even
Mega.
worth it though.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he sucks, but I wanted to have him.
Yeah. Well, that's too bad.
Just people who aren't in the beta are going to be like, man, I really want a golden Gelbin mecha. Like, hell yeah, I got one.
That's all fine and dandy. So I think the verdict here is it's not very clear because sometimes microtransactions are awful and sometimes they're okay. I think
Game change.
they're okay.
I like the way League of Legends does their microtransactions. You can buy skins and they're called rune pages, and you put runes in the page to like alter your heroes by like a tiny bit, and you can earn the runes for free, and they give you free rune pages. But it's like it's nice to have 5 or 6 so you don't have to change it every time you play a character. And the skins, they put a lot of work into the skins, and some of them are really cool, and it's worth the money usually.
What if microtransactions became so successful because, it's so easy and, you pay a negligible cost for something and then all of it adds up to big lump sums of money that to companies it looks like, oh, hell yeah, this is a good idea. We're making so much money. It's not going to go anywhere, I don't think. So what if this becomes so successful, like in the future when we have applications like machines that like make us food in a heartbeat, like, okay, I want some pot pie, hit 5277 letter P, and then boom, you got some pot pie. It's good stuff.
Did you hear about those Amazon delivery droids that they just fly from a factory in your state and come to your
Yeah.
house in 30 minutes?
That's an awful idea.
It really is.
What?
Because people
Yeah.
are just gonna like shoot it down with an RPG or
RPG.
because you
Fuck.
you know
The
what
robots are upon us.
you know what neighbor has on. Oh God.
Oh
But,
god, I haven't
people
started
could
my
just-
doomsday preparation early enough.
Like, it's not like unless they fly like really high. But in the little trailer that they showed, they weren't flying that high. People could just like shoot it with a gun or something, and just steal your
What if one
package,
flies into a crowded intersection and just like
decapitate
car-
someone.
flies out of the way to avoid it and kill somebody, and then explosions everywhere.
What if you like troll it? What if people start sabotaging the drones when they land? They just steal the drone or something. What if they get too
What
close?
if a hacker like goes into it and like turns it into an evil robot and it just starts killing people?
They attach rocket launchers and stuff on it, and it just becomes like
Yeah,
Optimus Prime.
Knives. He just throws knives at everyone.
Okay, so like if I have my ethereal chicken pot pie and I decide I want some more carrots in it, and I order some via microtransaction via the little display on my machine, and one of these little Android little bots from Amazon comes to deliver my carrots, I'm going to be really angry if someone shoots that down.
Why are you ordering carrots from Amazon?
Because that was my point. You can buy these little things like, because we're kind of already getting there already. Like you have a 3D printer and you need a little, I don't know, you need an Allen wrench. And you're like, oh shoot, how can I put my IKEA desk together without these tools? You just go buy a little blueprint and you print out your Allen wrench, 3D print it. And you know that costs, I don't know, 50 cents. And then it's 25 cents for Amazon Prime members. And you can already pay more than you do, you know, selling your soul for 1 to 2 day shipping. So God knows how long and how much it's going to cost to have a little Android bot deliver it to you. So you print it out, right? I don't know. I think that's kind of a future I want to live in. As crazy as it sounds.
I'm scared.
Yeah, me too. Let's get into some other games, though. Holiday gaming. What is your favorite game you have ever received for Christmas? You open it up and you're like, Nintendo 64!
God, thank you so much! Ah! Okay, first of all, before we get into this, have you guys seen the video? The Nintendo 64 video, but it's animated to show that the kid opens this box, or the kid, like, they're screaming because this monster N64 breaks through the wall and starts eating them.
No.
What? Like Kool-Aid Man?
Okay.
Like, oh yeah!
Yeah, but it's... Okay, I have to send you guys this video, and all the viewers, I'm sure, have seen it and or want to see it, because it's the greatest thing humankind has ever made.
Except for Paul Walker.
Paul
Okay,
Walker.
look, the Paul Walker joke, we're not making fun of him. What we're joking about is how ridiculously relevant he's become in mainstream media. And it's, come on.
Yes, it's a tragedy that someone lost a father, a husband, a brother. But
Yeah, obviously.
it
It's also a
happened-
tragedy that, you know,
Yeah.
people die every day. My aunt's dying, okay? She's not on Facebook. You
Yeah.
jerks.
But it's like he hasn't done anything to like. I mean, of course, the obligatory charity events and all that stuff that every celebrity does, but
Dude, he starred in these very, 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 very realistic and good racing movies with The Rock.
yeah, about that.
I mean, Aaron Paul is going to steal the show anyway, so not to be totally insensitive, but I mean, he died ensuring his status as a classic icon. So now Aaron Paul can't possibly steal the show. What are you posting in chat? Is it a video?
Yeah.
Can you type in... Oh, wow. Okay, let's check this out.
Ryan, you're an idiot.
Wow.
Viewers,
It's entirely animated. Oh, wow.
You have to listen to it.
Okay, so it's been animated in a way that it shows the Nintendo 64 as a malevolent beast that smashes through the wall and kidnaps the children and starts to eat them. And the audio is perfect because it serves as an excited, you know, live action moment for a kid opening up a present. But in this case, it serves as like the Nintendo busts through the wall and it's like controllers on wires is spinning around and it grabs the kids. And the audio is perfect because they're already screaming. And it shows them being eaten alive by the game cartridge slot. Wow, that was very creative. I enjoyed that. Thank you. What would you type in to look that up? Capital Nintendo 64?
we should just leave a link in
yeah.
like something, some show notes or something somewhere, or on the
Why don't-
Twitter.
Why don't we just spell out the entire link right here? You're going to go to YouTube/BKEL4CUT014. And, yeah, you can access it that way. Good stuff, Ryan. What else you got? Got something else to add, Ryan?
Not to that, but my favorite game that I've gotten for Christmas, which was your question previously, before I rudely interrupted with that amazing video.
It was amazing. You're right.
I don't know, probably. I've gotten so many games for Christmas. Infamous is probably one of them because I really enjoyed that game, and I got a PS3 for Christmas, I think in 2009, and I got the first Infamous, and I think I spent all day playing Infamous, all Christmas Day, and I enjoyed it.
I didn't think Infamous was that great.
I loved it. I loved the concept of it, and I liked the story and everything.
Was it magical? Did Santa really rub you the right way with that game?
Oh God.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I was new into the next generation of, the PS3 and all that crap, I guess. Yeah, I thought that was great, and I also got a big TV for Christmas that year. I got real spoiled that year for Christmas.
I remember the time you got a Kindle Fire and I hated you.
Yeah, that was. I still have that in my drawer. I can't find the charger though. I lost the charger, so I haven't been able to read my Lord of the Rings trilogy or Hobbit or the Silmarillion.
You can get those ebooks, for free, with one download, one credit, via Audible.
Are completely right.
Yeah.
And I do want to check out an audiobook, so that is a great idea. I think everyone else should do that as well.
Good idea, Ryan. You were so smart.
Innovative.
What about you, Rashard? What is your favorite game you have ever received for Christmas? It could be a console. Don't matter. It could be a Nintendo.
Mine is actually a bundle because.
Nintendo 64! Oh my god!
For Christmas in like 2000, I think it was, I got a PlayStation 2 and Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. And that was probably my favorite game. That's still one of my favorite games, like, ever in history. And, yeah.
Dude, bundles make such good gifts.
Oh, yeah.
They do. So that would be mine.
I think mine similarly was a Nintendo GameCube bundle with the very coveted and rare Legend of Zelda disc that had like all the Zelda games on it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
I remember that.
It didn't have the new
like 4 Zelda games.
Yeah, the classic ones had Ocarina and Majora's Mask on it, which is like the only way to play Majora's Mask on a newer console. And it didn't have the newer, updated version of Ocarina of Time. It had the original version. But it was really fun because you could throw a GameCube Game Shark in that and then tweak with all those games. So I was running across Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time as a huge dude in a bunny hat, and it was great. It was a good game. I don't know. I liked the GameCube console. It didn't have much to play, but for the brief time, it was golden. It had like Super Smash Bros, Zelda, and that's all I played. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes was great too, but that was just a redo.
Yeah.
Reboot. Perfect. What about like your most memorable game? Like, you're really into Kingdom Hearts, Ryan. Like, why is that so magical for you?
I'm gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts, and I'm also gonna give a little honorable mention because I remembered. You know when you're thinking about a game that you played a long, long time ago and you can't remember it?
Yeah.
Forever. I could not remember this game, but I just remembered it. It was on Sega Dreamcast. It's from Eidos Studios.
Sounds familiar.
But anyway, yeah, it's called Sword of the Berserk Guts Rage. You guys remember that game?
No.
Never heard of it.
It's based on anime. But I mean, I was young when this came out. I can't remember what year it came out. I think 2000 it came out. So almost 14 years ago. I think I was 8 years old or something. But that game was rad. It was very, very gory. I don't know why I was playing it when I was 8 years old, but
because you're a real man.
Yeah. That's my honorable mention. It was a great game.
Okay.
If you can get a Dreamcast in that game somehow, it would be awesome to enjoy that like I did as a child. But anyway, yeah, Kingdom Hearts is my most memorable gaming experience, I think.
Okay, and just to bring everyone up to speed on Kingdom Hearts, it sounds a little bit like this. So yeah, it's a good game. I love that intro. Like, what really set in stone for you for this game? Like, what makes it stand out from other games? Like, why this? Because there's other games.
Because, yeah, I mean, I was a huge fan of all the Final Fantasy games as well, but that was kind of my bridge into all of these kind of games, like RPGs and action adventure games, really in general.
Yeah.
It wasn't very linear. It was pretty open world. It was and the story really drew me in. Which the story of the first game is great. The second game's good. Then it kind of goes downhill in every game in the series afterwards.
And they like to put all the games on different systems that you don't have, and they're all pertinent to the story.
They're like, oh, there's not only a heartless and a nobody, but there are these things, and then these things, and you've never heard of this. And I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, you're not caught up with the story because you didn't buy the 3DS version, and then the 2DS version, and then the GameCube version?
The PSP version? Yeah, no. But anyway, the first game came out in 2002. I was 11 years old, I think, 11, 12 years old when I got it. I'd just gotten a PS2 because it was one of the games that came out like soon after launch, I think, or maybe it was a launch title, I'm not sure. But yeah, it stood out for me because it merged all of the Disney characters like Goofy and Donald and Mickey and all them with all the Final Fantasy characters. Like you saw Squall in there, which he wanted to be called Leon for some reason, which is lame. And his hair was longer. And then you saw Yuffie from FF7.
Yeah.
And then Aerith and Cloud and all those characters that just played a huge role in my childhood gaming. And also all the Disney characters, like I said before, which, growing up as a kid, I watched a lot of Disney movies, obviously. And I don't know, it was some impossible concept that I never truly understood until, I got older. And then now that I see it, it's kind of like, wow, this is a great idea, but it was, as the game series goes on, it wasn't really executed well.
Yeah.
But the first game was great because, all of that, and the gameplay was awesome, and it was just, I don't know, super nostalgic.
What about you, Rashard?
My game would be Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, the PSP version.
That had some good music, right?
It had amazing music. I actually have like a lot of the soundtrack on my, even though it's like a weird mix between like 8-bit and actual orchestral pieces. It's so weird, but I love the way they did it. It had a beautiful art style for the cutscenes, and
Enix always does amazing music in all their games.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the PSP version is literally like the same exact thing as the one that was on the PSX back in the day. They just added the Onion Knight, which was worthless, and they also added the Dark Knight, which was probably the most broken thing I've ever seen in a single player game ever. Here's like to put them in perspective. There's in the battle you're allowed to take 5 characters, and you would still like barely overcome your enemies if you. Well, I mean, depending on who they were, of course, but you wouldn't always have every character survive every battle, and it could be tough sometimes. With the Dark Knight, I went in every single battle with just him and dominated. And it came out with full health every single time. But The reason why they allow you to unlock this broken class is because it takes literally months to unlock him. It took me months of gameplay to unlock him the first time. So it was just, the story is really, really good. The music's awesome. The gameplay's fun. And I normally don't like turn-based games like the typical Final Fantasy series. But they put a nice twist on it by adding like speed and turns and all this stuff. So it's just really good. I would recommend it if you have a PSP. Just go pick up a copy and play it.
It plays like the typical tactics game where you got like the squares and you move the heroes and they're all sorts of different classes.
Yeah.
I like the ability, like the options and all that. It's really good.
Yeah, because you can mix the classes.
And you'll enjoy Fire Emblem.
Oh.
Is Fire Emblem similar to that? I've never played those games.
Yeah. Fire Emblem is the square-based, tactical movement system.
But dude, if I'm gonna drink soda, I don't want Pepsi. I want Coca-Cola.
Oh, whatever.
Apparently, Ryan, you think that's the jankiest version, the War of the Lions?
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen people. I played it a little, but I had a friend. My friend Tyler got a PSP, I think, and he got that game, and I just watched him play it, and I remember like huge things that you could, like the animations and stuff, like when you casted, I don't know, a summon spell with the summoner, like Titan or something, and he comes up and it's all like magical and fluent. In the PSP version, when that happened, it was like laggy and janky.
I do remember that now that you mention it. Yeah, the spells, some of the spells, the ones particularly with the large animations that like change the environment and the lighting and stuff.
That's the only thing that turned me on.
Yeah, because sometimes the sound would get behind the animation because it was lagging,
right,
and the sound would be finished, but the animation would still be going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But other than that, it was a great
game. I'm really fond of Symphony of the Night, one of my favorite games of all time, Castlevania. It's a PS1 title, and I would argue one of the best games of all time. It was definitely up there in the top 100 if I had to choose. And you're ridiculous if you disagree, honestly. And you're going to get coal for talking bad about this game, Ryan.
Oh.
The soundtrack's great. It's got metal versions of it. Everyone covers it. It's like this game just doesn't age. It doesn't age. This game is like Paul Walker, and it's going to live on to the end of our days.
Stop.
All right. You play as Alucard. Alucard, all my cards, doesn't matter. It's Dracula spelled backwards. He's the son of Dracula, and your mother is a human, and so that's kind of controversial or whatever. Anyway, as Alucard, your dad's kind of an asshole, and you're going back to his castle to put it into him. You're like, hey Dad, this ain't cool. I need you to quit it. My friends think you're weird. My girlfriend doesn't like you. It's like, just cut it out. So you go to, to not necessarily usurp him, but you just, you go to put things to rest. Like, Dad, you gotta go. You've had your time. You've had your fun. You gotta go. No more humans for you. And so you break it into the castle, and it's like 2D, and it's platformer kind of. You don't really do a whole bunch of platforming other than jumping. But you got all these sorts of spells. You're a lot like Blade, and if you don't know who Blade is, he's the Daywalker, the vampire. You got all the vampires' strengths and none of their weaknesses. And so he's punching skeletons and killing ghouls and destroying Cerberuses and all sorts of really cool bosses and music. And you just explore this huge castle, and the map system's actually surprisingly very well done. And it doesn't age. It's sprites, so it's like a little animated, like cartoon. And so that, like, the graphics are like not an issue. Like, the graphics are not like 3D or anything like that. It's all like drawn stuff. And all the sprites and animations are great, and the noises, it's just so perfect. And it's just the right amount of difficulty. Like, you get into a boss fight, the music rapidly changes into something like metal and heavy, and you're like, and you're killing dudes with spells. It's really awesome. And you can buy it on PS1 for like $4.99 or something like that. And this game holds up really well for me, and it's a good gaming memory for me because, I played it when the PS1 was relevant. And I still play it. I've probably beaten the game like 3 or 4 times, and it's got so much replayability. You beat the game, And then you got to play the whole castle upside down. Like everything is flipped upside down. You're walking on the ceiling. Yeah. And you get stronger with there's all sorts of drops for equipment, like customizable armor and weapons you can have that do different things, all sorts of equips and that kind of thing. And you gotta once you beat the game and you play it upside down, all of the sprites and minions that you go against in the game, even the bosses, they're replaced with different and tougher versions of all of those, and you get even better drops. This game is great. Okay, I can't recommend it enough.
Plus, there's a ranged weapon in the game called Magic Missile.
There is there?
Yeah, it's like a bow.
Yeah, it's a one-use item.
Yeah.
You got health and magic and all that, and you can transform into a wolf or a bat that spits fire or even miss. And it's good. It's good stuff. Okay, I'm done.
Relax, Devin. Relax.
All right.
Stop crying.
Well, let's wrap up. Thank you so much for your emails and your iTunes reviews and ratings.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You can hit us up at Twitter. You can follow us at Discussion Show. You can send more emails to duelistdiscussion@gmail.com. You can visit our main site at duelistdiscussion.squarespace.com. If you don't feel like typing all that out.
Please, no more death threats, though.
Please. No more. We're just joking about Paul Walker.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. We didn't get death threats. Ryan's dumb. You can listen to all of our shows there in any order you like. You can go backwards. You can start from the beginning and go forwards. You can go start in the middle. You can listen to the only ones with Ryan in them because you kind of have a secret celebrity crush on Ryan.
My sexy voice.
You know, his bass tones. You can like us on Facebook /Duelist Discussion. And who cares about Richard and Ryan, where you can find them or me, because we're not important. Anything else you guys want to add?
I am important, so follow me on Twitter at Ryan _M_Drover.
You got some amazing drum services?
Yes. So email me at RyanMDrover@gmail.com.
I'm going to make a new account and email you asking you for nudes.
For nudes?
Yeah.
God.
You will get them, sir.
I hope I get a steaming hot picture of ramen noodles.
Yes. Some Lipton chicken noodle soup.
The heck is going on?
What about you, Richard? You've been doing some Let's Plays for Bastion, which is a great game.
Oh, such a good game.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at ExodusRB, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/something. I don't know how the slash works on YouTube. It changed. Just Google my name, Richard Burrell, or type me in on YouTube. You'll find me. I'm on my Facebook page for my YouTube channel is Exodus Videos, facebook.com/ExodusRB. So look me up on there, follow me. I got some awesome gameplays going on right now. Did some Jetpack Jerome, which is a hilarious game. And of course, like they said, Bastion, amazing game as well. So just come by, check it out, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff.
Boom.
I mean, I guess.
I guess.
Well, it's been a lovely long show. Thank you guys for joining me. We hope all of our listeners have enjoyed this. And if you haven't, well, Paul Walker has. Just kidding.
Paul Walker enjoys our show very much.
Just kidding. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.